Take it
Imagine
on.
Dwight having made so much money as a landlord in Scranton and farmer, an investor that he buys Enervate uh, and takes the whole thing over.
I'm the President of the United States!
Mr. President, let's take a service, man. We're here to evacuate you and take you to the White House.
What about the First Lady and the Vice President?
We're gonna send a second chopper.
She's been having a little trouble breathing lately.
Define lately.
My name is Nigel Chambers. I'm from Big O Belt Media. Rainn and Christopher, thank you so much for your time today. Congratulations on your new film, Code 3, in theaters September 12th. How's everyone feeling?
Feeling good, feeling excited. Can't wait for people to finally see the movie.
Absolutely, absolutely. You should. I have to be honest, I think it's easy to look at the cast and yet alone you say, oh, I know I'm going to have one heck of a time in the terms of comedy and laughs and the humor. And while I did get some laugh, I damn near at the end of this film was in tears because I think we kind of look at superheroes with capes and don't realize we have superheroes in our daily lives day to day and what they go through. And not only was it just an exposure to their day to day, but I also felt like it was really raw and true. It wasn't really like glamored up, like, hey, their day is it's great, from one thing to the next. It got real. Um, Rain, I want to start with you because you're very often praised in terms of really masterfully fully immersing yourself into characters. So when you had to step into the role of a paramedic and something in the performance, I feel like unlike anything I've ever seen. Just talk to me about really stepping into it and dealing with like the intensity behind these emergencies and also wearing a producer hat as well too.
Yeah, during the making of this film, I lived in the back of an ambulance for 6 months and I ate nothing but enema bags and drank my own urine. And it was tough, but now I know, it's like, let's get real. No, but seriously, listen, it's all there in the script. It's a beautiful script written by Chris Leone here and his co-writer, who's a real life paramedic,
Yeah.
Patrick Pianezza. And so, the only thing that I did for preparation really was we got to meet a bunch of, paramedics and EMTs, train with them somewhat. We did a ride along down in South Central.
Mm,
But most importantly, like we got to know what the stakes are for this job. Like you said it beautifully, superheroes don't have capes necessarily. They're the ones working for minimum wage who show up and bring your grandma to the hospital and save her life,
yeah,
for the amount that someone who works at Starbucks gets paid.
that's right.
So getting to know them, what they're up against, their kind of gallows humor, and their mental health struggles
Mm.
just help me prepare for the role of Randy.
Really appreciate that. I could spend a lot more time on that, but for the sake of time, I want to get to some other questions. And I want to come to you next, Christopher, because another aspect of the film, and I was curious about, was when you're talking about this real life chaos, especially in terms of the commute of a paramedic through LA, the traffic, the city streets, all the emergencies. I would imagine this is very tricky. Did you have to rely on permits? Did you have control setups? Or did you just kind of drive naturally here and then really let the unpredictable energy kind of unfold on camera?
It's really a mix. I mean, we were all over the city, but we planned it around the LAX area, right? So one of the things about shooting in Los Angeles is that it's a giant city. So a lot of the story was trying to figure out, well, what Los Angeles are we shooting? Is it downtown? Is it the valley? And one of the things about our real locations, we had airplanes flying overhead, and we ultimately integrated that into the story. But yeah, I mean, you feel the real city around you, and I think that adds to the grittiness of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Rain, to come back to you again with Randy, because yeah, the character provides both humor and emotional depth. He also gets an opportunity to break the fourth wall multiple times, which, if I must say, when it comes down to you looking into the camera, you may be the master of that. Was this role constructed around your particular set of skills, or was it something you felt you had to adapt to, and this brought out something new into you, out of you, excuse me?
Yeah. Well, Christopher, how did the director dress to the camera? Was that in the original script, or is that something you added?
It was something that I added after Patrick and I started talking because Patrick would turn to me and just explain, well, this is how stuff really works. Like this is what paramedics really do. And it became at some point we're like, we should just have Randy turn to camera and explain it. But I mean, when Rainn first read the script and really liked it, I mean, I can't tell you how instrumental he was in pushing the script forward and being like more interesting and deeper and funnier. And so I think the script kind of grew around his voice in a big way.
That, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
but
anyone
it's
else?
a storytelling device that's been used in countless movies. High Fidelity is one. I got to look up that Steve Coogan movie about the Manchester
Oh, 24-hour party people.
24-hour party people. It's a great device. It keeps the audience a little unsettled because they don't know like when are you going to break the fourth wall?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and but I think it keeps you unsettled in a great way for this
Yes.
film because the film is so unsettling and on a number of different levels.
Yeah, yeah. Rain, you've been such a lovable person throughout your entirety of your career, and even when you play villains, you seem to still capture the audience heart. Again, what I really loved about this is because, as you mentioned, Randy does the work. He goes above and beyond. He fights for folks where they can't fight for themselves. And that emotional connection we have, and it almost feels justified at the points. It is justified, shall I say, at the points where he looks at the camera and he just unleashes the raw and reality of everything. I want to know was did Patrick ever share any frustrations to this extent that really made you tap into those sort of emotions as well?
I want to say Najir. Am I saying your name right?
Nigeria, yes.
Najir. You should be an official spokesperson for this movie, man. No one summarizes it better, more articulately. You've hit the nail on the head and in so many different ways. Yeah, Patrick is very intense dude, and he spent years and years doing this, and then training paramedics, and then helping run and making media for them. So like he is so passionate about this world that his intensity definitely spilled over into the character of Randy. Wouldn't you say a little bit of Patrick's kind of intensity was in Randy's voice, Chris?
Absolutely. No, yes, I think Patrick really lived it, and I think you sort of really took that on and sort of captured the whole range of it. I mean, the humor and the depth and the burnout and the heartbreak.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie so much, and I know these type of movies don't really warrant sequels, but I am curious about what the next day is like. You really captured our hearts, and again, I think we take people like EMTs and a lot of other medical professions for granted. And I also was very vocal about the pandemic, where there wasn't enough love about these folks that went out there and put their lives on the line, and even that they did get some love, people tend to forget that they still work every single day. And I think going into this film again, I looked at the cast and said, I'm about to have one hell of a time laughing, and I left out damn near tears and just so much more appreciation for this community, this profession. You all completely nailed it. I really can't wait for the world to check it out in theater September 12th. I just want to end with one other question because I just wanted to make sure, properly gave love to the film. But Rain, I totally will be remiss if I didn't ask you here. Now you with the paper fully on Peacock right now, all 10 episodes here, and it does continue the world of The Office. And it does show us what happens to Dunder Mifflin in the very beginning there. I'm wondering if the phone rings, is there a place for Dwight to show up, whether it's the farm, whether it's Innervate, or is it just a cameo? What version of Dwight would you imagine being able to come to the project and
I
would
would
you take it
imagine
on?
Dwight having made so much money as a landlord in Scranton and farmer and investor that he buys Enervate uh, and takes the whole thing over. Um, so, and moves to Toledo, I guess. Um, I'm in. Let's make it happen.
My man, my man. Well, thank you so much for this. Thank you really bringing this story to the big screen. I can't say enough. And also, Ray, I will be honest and say, I feel like in another world, man, this was your profession to be EMT. I really never saw you one bit in this. I literally saw this character, Randy, and I hope that if anything tragically was to happen for me, somebody like Randy, somebody like Patrick was there to
Yep.
advocate for my life because something again you
Randy's the
just
one you
take for
want
granted.
saving your life. Trust me. He might be grumpy, irascible, burned out, overwhelmed, without many social skills, but he's the one you want saving your life at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And Chris, to you and Patrick, thank you for giving these actors who may have a comedic background the opportunity to really show really how well-rounded they are. Every single person stepped up and just a fantastic film up and down the board. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate both of you all's time today. Code 3 in theaters September 12th. Check it out, folks. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.